Before we get to this actual video, I just want to say this video is inspired by Fighting GM's video where he talked about how fighting games can ruin your life. You guys don't know who Fighting GM is. He's essentially an old Tekken pro. I didn't know who he was until earlier today, this morning. He just popped up on my news feed, and I just listened to what he had to say. He's an older guy around my age in his mid 30s, and he was running the Tekken circuit back in the day, going undefeated in events. And his story kind of like actually made me remember a lot of the things I saw growing up and just stuff I see on a daily basis playing card games like Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, CCG, and seeing people play Magic and etc. So also I also want to state this video is not me saying I hate Yu-Gi-Oh. This video is not me saying I'm gonna quit Yu-Gi-Oh. This is just a observation of stuff I've seen over my 23 years of playing this card game. Now, with all that being said, Yu-Gi-Oh can ruin your life. That's right, Yu-Gi-Oh can ruin your life. Reason why Yu-Gi-Oh can ruin your life is because it is a hobby slash game that a lot of us love to enjoy. The reason why people like to play their hobbies, like to do their hobbies like sports cars, car games, and etc., is because they are a big distraction from guess what? Real life stuff. I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh back in 2002, and I got into it because of the anime. I love the anime. I love what it was. I love collecting the cards. I love playing. And I remember back then Yu-Gi-Oh was really fun for me. Even if I was just playing some casual games at home or just shooting the shit with my cousins while watching cartoons, Yu-Gi-Oh was always a vibe. But as I've gotten older and got into the competitive scene, it started going from more of a fun thing to do to more of a high octane, I want to win, I don't care about how I get there type of deal. Playing meta decks or just trying to innovate your own meta with rogue strategies and things like that. And that stuff can be very stressful. Like I've seen a lot of players over the years have mental breakdowns from losing playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I've seen people cry. I myself have gotten really triggered to the point where I'm cursing, screaming, punching stuff in my car because of games I lost. And the reason why we take it that serious is because we get so freaking hyper competitive, but we're losing focus on the big picture, which is our actual lives. The reason why people get so frustrated when they lose Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not the fact that they lost that Yu-Gi-Oh! It's because, let's be real, we got a lot of shit going on in our personal life, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the only thing that's kind of keeping us there together. So when we lose that Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like all hell breaks loose. Now, that might seem like it's a good thing for some of you guys because it is distracting you from your real life issues, but it's not. One thing I've learned about getting myself into therapy and even doing my own self therapy over the past couple months, card games, distractions like going to the bar, drinking, and etc. That's all stuff that throws you off of your goals. And that's all stuff that, if I'm being honest with myself right now, bro, it can just distract you from getting your life together, getting your shit together. Like, I think about a lot of the times I've gone to events, and a lot of time my buddies gone to events, and people I just know throughout the years, and they're grinding the tournament circuit, not even doing well, continue grinding, might do okay. What do you really have to show for outside of some memories and maybe a few cool things you won along the way that really ain't worth shit in the grand scheme of things? Because if you're like me, if you win something cool, you're not gonna really give it up. Or if you're like a lot of the pro players nowadays who are doing well, you're just gonna sell it and maybe make a couple $100, maybe make 1,000. But at the end of the damn day, if you're not focusing on your real life, you're kind of cooked. I ain't gonna lie. You're gonna be 30 plus and you're gonna be struggling like crazy. Like right now, me personally, like my life ain't all the way together right now. I don't really like the way it is, but I'm still continuing. Times are hard nowadays. But I always think like if I would have focused more on my personal life when I was younger versus running this competitive car game circuit, I probably would have been better off or at least a little more farther ahead in life. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad I went the car game route because at least I know to pass on the knowledge to you guys. For you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. Like a lot of people do fall behind in life and they play catch up in later years due to their hobbies. And this not once again, this is not just Yu-Gi-Oh! This is just random things in general. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Also can take over people's lives. Like I said, people use Yu-Gi-Oh! As a distraction, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Can also make you just neglect things like your girlfriends, like your family. Like I've had a few times where, I think I've always had a balanced approach when it came to the family thing because I've always spent time for my family and I've always tried to spend time for my card gaming. But a lot of time my family didn't understand that, and that was a them problem in my opinion. However, I've seen people and I've known people personally who, instead of spending time with their girl, they're playing cards. Instead of taking their girl on a date, they're playing cards. To the point, one guy I know, his girl ripped one of his cards up and they got into damn near a fist fight over the shit. Now I'm not gonna sit up here and say that she was right for that because she definitely shouldn't have ripped this expensive card up. However, with that being said, the reason why she did that because she was neglected. No girl I personally ever dated have done that to me. However, the reason why my old buddy's girl did that is because she felt like all he did was come in the house, probably just want to have sex with her when he's tired. Didn't he barely touched her, and then started deck building and things like that. So a lot of people just don't really. They kind of like just they go because you get so competitive, right? With a card game, you get so cards, and you just don't realize the years is going by, the months are going by. You're chasing the regional circuit. Like a lot of these guys, like I commend them because it is fun when you're younger doing the regional grind. They're doing the YCS grind. And it's kind of like I don't know a lot of the people who do it now personally, but back in the day, some people just really just did, in my opinion, shouldn't be doing it. Like I knew guys who would go to events dead freaking broke, maybe $100 to their name. And they're sharing a room with like 8 to 10 dudes. I used to do this back in the day too. And it's cool when you're young, but if you think about it, like a lot of those same guys that I'm talking about now, like one in particular I'm thinking about, is still working the same dead end job 18 years later. 18 fucking years later, the same this dude. Excuse my French for anybody who may be watching who knows me personally, like, and I'm not talking shit about anybody I know personally, but I know a few people who've been working dead end jobs for years. I don't even think they're making $20 an hour because they were chasing the card game high and just, hanging with their friends, doing their hobby, not getting their life in order. A lot of people spend the last their money on their decks. Like I've literally seen people go broke selling for their decks. Literally, they get paid buying a case. I'm like, dude, you work at a freaking mall job. How do you have a meta deck? They probably doing something strange on the side to get a meta deck. Like you guys ever heard that story back in the day? I think it was on DPYGO channel. He talked about a story in his era about this one dude was sucking DICK for Dark Arm Dragon, and it's kind of like that's wild, bro. Because Dark Arm Dragon back in 2008 was like a $300 card, and the guy wanted it that bad he was willing to give somebody fellatio for it. And I've seen people, I ain't gonna say I've seen it, but I've heard stories locally where people did something strange to get some cards. Like somebody got some back shots to pay off a debt, and I'm just kind of like, whoa. Now I don't know how true it is, but these are just rumors. But usually within some rumors, the truth falls in the middle. I've seen people play card games, have good meta decks, stapled out, horrible freaking hygiene. Like, how do you come to locals wearing the same clothes every week, smelling like straight up shit, literally, or just really, really like you get that moldy smell from a basement. Like my room is in the basement right now, in my room, and sometimes if I don't maintenance my basement, like clean the floors and stuff, it would get that smell. I live in an old house with my family. Like I can tell the guy who I'm thinking about right now. He stores his clothes somewhere where it's in a basement or a shack or whatever, and it just has a strong odor. And I just be like, ugh. And a lot of people are like, ugh. It's gotten to the point where this guy specifically had been told by multiple people, like, hey man, you need to clean that up, bro. That's not a good look. And he has over the years, thank God. But you know, it's just I've seen it, man. I've seen it multiple people, not just one guy, multiple people. One person who just stank really bad, has a whole meta deck, but musty. I've seen people play cards. I mean, there's one dude I knew years ago. I'm not saying names because you never know who's watching, and I don't want to be out nobody, for having bad hygiene. This dude went to the bath. It was in the middle of summertime. I never forget this. Locals was gonna start. It was gonna start like in 10 minutes. He went to the bathroom, took a dump, rushing to go to round one because I guess he was scared he was gonna get a game loss. Smelling like straight up dookie. I was like, bruh, what is wrong with this dude? So people would definitely neglect themselves because of this card game. And I ain't gonna lie, man, it's kind of sad, bro. Like a lot of the times I be thinking like I'm not perfect, right? I've definitely neglected parts of my life because of playing card games, and I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm any better than people because I'm not. But there's certain shit I just want to do. Like my hygiene gonna be on point. Like every once in a while, you might have an off day, like you sweating real hard, you put deodorant on or whatever, and sometimes your deodorant, you have that cheap deodorant from like the dollar store, and you just ain't all the way there. That's one thing, especially if it's like super hot out, like 90 degrees and shit like that. But like all the time, it's like, dude, take care of yourself, man. Like a lot of people, bro, a lot of people. And I'm just like, man, that's not how it should be, man. It's not how it should be because one day you're gonna look back on all this shit and think, what the hell did I do with my life? So, as a closing statement to this video, man, when it comes to playing card games, anything competitive, man, this goes beyond card games. Like dude said in that fighting game video, make sure to focus on your life first. Get your life in order, get your ducks in a row. And I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players do have that for the most part, which I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players who have a lot of money. But I also know that there's a part of our community who just ain't got it like that, man. It's card games. They go home, they play their card, they spend all their money on the meta deck, they fap, they go to bed, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Like I've seen people just they'll wear a broken pair. Like I knew one dude had a broken pair of glasses for years. Switched 3, 4 different meta decks, but his glasses are like just messed up, crusty, and I'm just like, dude, I know glasses are expensive, but sheesh, they're on your face. I don't say this shit to people, but I just be like, man, take care of yourself, bro. Like I know one guy too, cool guy, but has a good job too. But all money goes into hobbies. Smells like must. No fresh cut. Hair head nappy in the motherfucker. And I'm just like, bro, I'd be looking so perplexed. Like I be wanting to say shit to people, but I don't want to offend people because I'm like I'm not perfect, but at the same time, it's like, dude, take care of yourself. So, what do you guys think, man? Am I tripping? Or can Yu-Gi-Oh really ruin your life? I'm gonna leave that to you, for you guys to debate in the comment section down below. Also, once again, leave a comment, and also let me know you guys' experience. Do you guys know people who have let card games ruin their lives? Do you guys know people who let card games, neglect their family, neglect their girlfriend, skip work, losing money to play cards? And once again, I get it because life sucks, life is stressful. But trust me, you do not want to be your mid to late 30s and not having much to show for it. And once again, for what it's worth, I know I'm not 100% that person that kind of neglects their personal life, but I have at different points in my life, so I can definitely relate to people who do that shit. But at the same time, it's kind of like, man, if you don't wake up, man, you're gonna be like these dudes that be you see in the neighborhoods that be in front of 7-Eleven. Man, I used to play Dungeons and Dragons back in my day, and now I'm homeless. And it's like you got to realize, man, life is going on, bro. Like a lot of times, a lot of people live with their families, like I do. I'm fortunate enough to have a place to live while I get my life more in order. Because I've had different things in my life that kind of held me back personally, without putting all my business out there, which is why I'm still at home with my family in my mid 30s. However, what you don't want to do is be that guy who is the homeless dude in front of a 7-Eleven or a beggar for change because you never really focus your energy into improving your life while you were young and your family members who were helping you out passed away and now you're on the street and you never really learned any people skills. You never really developed your emotional skills. You never really developed any skills. I always tell a lot of young guys who do, like, for example, who was get out of high school. I'm like, if you're gonna go to now, this is kind of like off topic, but if they ask me like, hey man, what should I do? Should I go to college? I'm like, look, if you're gonna go to college, if you're not being a doctor, lawyer, engineer, a nurse, don't waste your time. Go get a trade and start making some real effing money while you're young. Become an apprentice and start making real money because or you can go into sales like I did. Like I work a sales job. I make okay money right now, but I have the company I'm with. I have it's room for me to grow and potentially move up into the corporate office, which is why I took the position. But there's more that goes into that, which is also why I took the position. But my whole main point is too, you guys have to just focus on getting your life in order and setting out a plan, especially while you're young, because the older you get, the less energy you have, especially for you guys that don't work out. And also, that's the last thing too. I just want to throw it out there. A lot of dudes, they focus so much on playing cards, they neglect their health. There are so many overweight people that play cards, bro. I've seen people go from skinny to overweight, skinny to fat. Now, I'm not the most fit mother effer in the world, bro. But I got my ass in the gym 4 to 5 days a week consistently. I have a gut, but I'm pretty strong for my height and my size. And a lot of you guys can definitely be strong or stronger than me if you guys just hit the gym. You don't even got to do a strength training workout. Just do something to get the body moving. There is no reason why we should all be nerds in 2025 and a majority of the community just out of shape, fat as hell. And this is not me judging people. Like I said, do what you want to do. Like I said, I ain't perfect. I got a little bit of gut. I like to eat good food. Trust me, I get it. But moderation is key. You don't want to be 45, 50 years old thinking like, damn, man, if I didn't eat all them cheeseburgers when I was young and actually took care of my health, like Rogue told me, I'd be in a better condition. Because I've been seeing people don't lost their lives just having bad health, man, heart problems, blood clots, different things like that, breathing issues, and they can all be avoided for just taking better care of yourself. You don't have to be the best, most fit mother effer in the world, but just go to a gym, hit the weights, start walking, get your breathing in order. Like I'll be around people that don't even play cards because this is not just a card game issue. This is an American issue specifically, and they're just breathing hard, like, and I'm just like, bro, why is this mother effer breathing so hard? Or I've seen people out of breath after walking up one flight of stairs. I'm like, how are you tired? But anyway, man, I'm done ranting, man. This video is all over the place. Hope you guys got the point. It's your boy Rogue dropping a random video on a Sunday night, and I'm signing out. Peace. Also, more videos to come in. Like I said, my new job has been kicking my ass. I've been tired because all I gotta do is work, gym, work, gym. And I'm kind of taking a break from Yu-Gi-Oh right now. I haven't played no tournament since the format started. I don't like decks that play on my turn, but I've been kind of like leaning into wanting to play. As soon as I have a Tuesday off, I'm gonna film a vlog for you guys. For you guys that may be wondering who still give a f about my vlogs. I'm probably just gonna play Heroes for fun. That's like the only deck I have. I was thinking about picking up Sky Strikers, but I just haven't done it yet. But anyway, man. All right, man. Video over. Peace. See you guys in the next video.